Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming, by the way. Thank you all for coming, really. Very much. Appreciate it. It's nice to be able to look out and talk to a few people as opposed to 3 or 4 sitting there, right? You get my point? So thank you for coming and joining us. We're so excited. We're so excited. Why? Well, first thing I'm going to tell you that we're excited about, beyond the fact that we're going to launch an all-new brand, Vantus, to America. We're excited. Believe it or not, we made the announcement on Monday. Monday. Guess how many dealers we've signed to Vantus already? Somebody out there, just take a guess. Not one of my folks. Somebody that isn't engaged with us. How many do you think we've signed since Monday? Anybody want to hazard a guess? Give me a guess. 43. That's a big number. 80. 80. Come on, 80. 80 dealers since Monday? Wow. I mean, seriously, he said we've been on a hot streak. Don't touch us right now. We're on fire. Really, we're on fire, and we're really happy about it. In fact, afterwards, at 11:30, we're going to do a press event over at the booth. Got to look at and remember, 3256. 3256, right in the main hall. 2 beautiful new Vantus vehicles there. Terrific. They're terrific. By the way, standing right in front of me, right in the middle, right down the pike there. Put up your hands. Yep. That's Ray Brzezinski, Executive Vice President from Chery Motors, all the way from Woohoo. And yes, he hasn't been there in a month, so no worries about the virus. Okay? No worries about the virus. But Ray Brzezinski reports directly to the chairman, a great advisor, a great ally, and frankly, a great human being. Ray, thank you for being with us. So let's talk a little bit about Vantus. We are going to assemble every Vantus in America with American hands. Every Vantus will be built in the United States of America, where we'll employ up to 1,500 people. And remember, that doesn't include the indirects. That's just the direct employees. And oh, by the way, we're going to put in, by the time, not at launch, but by the time we're up fully running, we'll have about 330 dealers in America employing another 14,000 people at retail. Think about it. 14,000 people at retail. So I think that's a big deal. Let me just talk just a couple of minutes about Chery. Any of you know Chery? Heard of Chery? Put up your hand if you know Chery. Okay, that's quite a few. That's good. So Chery is one of the top 10 automakers in China. That's a fact. Chery, this is maybe an unknown fact, Chery is the #1 exporter of Chinese cars for 17 years in a row. 17 years in a row. Now, you know you don't get to be #1 in anything where you can dominate 17 years in a row. So top company. And we're pleased to do business with them. It's exciting. And I want you to come by our booth. Just come by our booth. Take a look. You make the call for yourself. You make the call for yourself. I think you will fall in love with the new Vantus vehicles. We've got a 5-passenger over there that you'll see. We also got a 7-passenger vehicle that you'll see as well. So exciting stuff. Employing a lot of Americans, not only with the direct jobs at the assembly, but as I said, the retail jobs across the country, and that doesn't include any indirect supplier jobs that are related to all those jobs. So we're not just exporting cars to the U.S. We're assembling cars in America. And, you know, I had the pleasure of, here's 2 dealers on both sides of me from big markets that are already in, as I say, all in all the time. One dealer I'm pleased to introduce is George DeMontron from the DeMontron Automotive Group, Houston, Texas. Say hello to George DeMontron. And on my right, a guy that I've known for many, many, many years, a great Volvo dealer in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the family's been Volvo over 62 years. When did you start that? When you were 7?
Approximately.
Yeah, okay. So, Irv Stein, Keystone Motors. Say hello to Irv. So, let me just start with George. And by the way, we haven't scripted this a bit. It's true. Haven't talked to George or Irv, haven't given them a word to say. Just said, hey, would you join me on stage? And I'm going to ask you a few questions. Haven't even told them the questions in advance. So let's see how it goes. No pressure, guys.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Thanks.
George, though, great guy, great automotive group, smart guy, too, I got to tell you. Princeton. Can I rub a little of that on me, George? Okay. George DeMontron. George, how many specific points did you take with Vantus in the Houston market?
We took 5 points in the Houston market.
Took
I'm
5.
excited about that.
And George, the 5 points represent the entire market. Is that not true?
That's correct.
So the entire market, George DeMontron took every point in Houston, Texas. And so you took all 5. You took the entire market. Why?
Well, there's several reasons. One of the main reasons is the experience of the manufacturer and the importer. The manufacturer, as Duke said earlier, has been the #1 exporter out of China for 17 straight years, and they've also been in the top 10 out of 80 manufacturers in China. And the importer has over 300 years of experience, and that's important. These people have been involved with other manufacturers, top manufacturers in the U.S. market. They know what they're doing. The second is the sales process, Duke. I really am excited about the sales process. We're going to sell cars to people the way they want to buy it. If they want to buy it over the internet electronically, they can do that. If they want to come into the dealership, they can do that. So we think that we've got a product out there in terms of the process. It's going to really excite the millennials. It's going to excite the new people that are coming into the market, and we're really, really excited about that. The third thing is the cars themselves. These cars are fantastic. They're well engineered. They've got a lot of electronics in them that I think make life easier and do a good job for the consumer. And they're beautiful. They're gorgeous. So for those 3 reasons primarily, Duke, that's the reason why we're all in. And with 5 deals, we are all in.
Thank you, George. Thank you. Those are great remarks. And I want to make 2 points that George reminded me of. Chery, everybody knows, I think most of you know at least, as you look at China right now, the market's having some tough times. The economy's having some difficult times. And most all of the automakers are off, but not Chery. Chery's up. Chery's domestically up, I think, about 7-8% for the year. And if you look even totally internationally, the sales for the year are flat. And so if you look at their sales performance, both domestically and internationally, there's nobody better. And you all know, it's just like 17 years in a row, if you're the best in the market, whatever the market conditions are, there's a reason for that. That doesn't happen by accident. So that's one point. And then another point that George reminded me of is the process. People are so attracted to the process that we're bringing. It's refreshing, it's new, it's innovative. It's what the research says that consumers are looking for, particularly millennials and others. So, for example, you want to do the entire process online from beginning to end, from soup to nuts. You can do the entire process online, buy the vehicle, never show up to the dealership, but guess what? We give 100% of the commission to the dealers because we believe in dealers regardless of how the consumer buys the vehicle.
I like that, Duke.
I bet you do. You like that too,
was
Irv.
the selling point.
Let me switch over to Irv for a minute. Irv, knowing you a long time.
Over 40 years.
Over 40 years. Why did you get in?
A lot of it had to do with you, Duke. We go back a long way. Duke was an executive vice president at Volvo, and that's when we originally met. We've stayed in touch over the years and when he went to different manufacturers and different parts of his career. And I believe in the gentleman, I really do.
Thank you so much.
The people he surrounded himself this time around. He tried to do this about 15 years ago. Time wasn't really right, but the time is right now. And after seeing the vehicles in person, my son, who is going to be third generation in the store, saw them probably, about 8 months ago? And I just saw them the first time about a month ago, and I saw the 7-passenger today for the first time. And I've been full-time in the business over 50 years now. And it takes a lot to choke me up. And these cars are phenomenal. These cars you don't have to make excuses for. We've handled Japanese brands in the past, American brands. When you look at the seams on these cars, the fit, the finish, the shunt lines, when you shut the door, when you shut the hood, the tailgate, they're perfect. The sound it makes when you shut a door, and you don't have to slam these doors to shut them. These are quality automobiles. I am so completely blown away, thrilled, the adjectives to describe how I felt when I saw these cars in person. And the 7-passenger today, I can't think of them all. But you've got to come by and see them, and forget the booth number. We're directly next to the NADA Pavilion, so we're easy to find.
Yeah, we're really easy to find. I don't know how we got there, but we're lucky. And we're lucky to have Irv. By the way, this is a top 10 Volvo dealer from every perspective. Just as George has shared in many honors as a dealer, this guy's store been top 10 with Volvo for 60 years. There's a reason for that. They do things right. George DeMontron's group, they do things right. We're leading with great technology.
Absolutely.
You'll be blown away by the technology in these cars. Look out. Technology, process, people, passion, and finally, we haven't talked about it. We didn't lead with it, but there's that little word called price. We got value. We are gonna blow dealers away and ultimately consumers away, not leading with price, following with price. We got a great story to tell. We got a great package for dealers, and ultimately we got a great package for consumers. We say we're customer friendly, we're dealer friendly, right? We're community friendly, and yes, we're employee friendly. Ask my employees that are out there, are we employee friendly? Huh? Come on, we really are. So it's actions, it's not words.
Duke, can I say something? You know, you just said one of the magic words is price. Well, price by itself doesn't mean anything if there's no value. The value proposition is more important than the price. And these cars could literally be priced considerably higher than they are going to be. And there's still a tremendous value that you won't know until you get in and crawl around in these vehicles. The value is there, which makes the price that much more extraordinary.
After you get your second cup of coffee this morning, come over to our booth. Come over to 3256. Come to 3256, please. Come by, stop by, say hello to any of us. We'll be there. We'd love to talk to you. We appreciate your time. We hope you have a great show, and thank you for dropping by and listening to us. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.